In this video, I am going to explain about interfacing to external memory by 8051 microcontroller. As you all know, 8051 consists of two memory, internal memory and external memory. We have already seen this internal memory organization and external memory in my architecture video. Let us go through interfacing of external memory with 8051. First one, memory organization. Before that, you must know what is meant by a memory capacity. The number of bits that a semiconductor memory chip can store is called as chip capacity. It can be expressed in kilobits, megabits, etc. A memory chip contains 2 raised to x locations where x represents number of address pins. Each location contains y bits where y represents number of data pins on the chip. Entire chip contains 2 raised to x into y bits where x represents number of address pins and y represents number of data pins. Let us see this with an example. How many address lines are required for accessing the data in the following memory chips while data is organized as bytes in the first two cases? Also find the memory capacity of each chip and organization. First question, 512 bytes of RAM. This 512 can be expressed as 2 raised to 9. 2 raised to 9 means 2 into 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 2. So, 2 raised to 9 can be expressed as 512. So, memory capacity can be expressed as 2 raised to x into y, that is 512 into 8. Since 8051 is of 8 bit, there are 8 data lines. So, memory capacity can be expressed as 2 raised to 9 into 8 or 512 into 8, which is equal to 4096 bits. Organization is 512 into 8. Then second question, 8K RAM. As you all know, 2 raised to 9 means 512. So 1K means 2 raised to 10. That is 512 into 2 is equal to 1024, which can be represented as 2 raised to 10. This 8K can be splitted up into 8 into 1K. 8 can be represented as 2 raised to 3. K can be represented as 2 raised to 10. So 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 10. So 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to 10 can be expressed as 2 raised to 10 plus 3, which is equal to 2 raised to 13. So memory capacity is equal to 2 raised to 13 into 8, which is equal to 65536 bits, which can be expressed as organization is 8K into 8. Then next is memory address decoding. Then what is meant by this decoding? Memory chips have one or more pins called chip select or chip enable, which must be activated for memory's contents to be accessed. Sometimes the chip select is also referred to as chip enable. In connecting a memory chip to the CPU, we must note these following points. As you all know, there are data bus. So, data bus of the CPU is connected directly to data pins of the memory chip. So, data bus has to be connected to data pins. Then you have two control signals, read signal and write signal. This read and write from the CPU are connected to output enable and write enable. As the name specifies itself, read is connected to output enable and WR is connected to write enable pins of the memory chip. Then you have address buses. Address buses, you have lower bits of addresses and upper bits of addresses. As you all know, 8051 consists of 16-bit addresses. So, lower bits of the addresses from the CPU go directly to the memory chip address pins, while the upper ones are used to activate the chip select pin of the memory chip, which is represented as CS. Then, what is the function of this chip select? This chip select pin, along with this read and write, allows the flow of data in or out of the memory chip. No data can be written into or read from the memory chip unless this chip select is activated. So, mainly memory address decoding consists of these following points. These following points have to be noted for address decoding. Then, next is memory block selector. Normally, memories are divided into blocks, and the output of the decoder selects a given memory block. There are three ways to generate a memory block selector. They are: first by using simple logic case, second by using 74LS1328 decoder, then third by using programmable logics. First one, logic gate address decoder. This diagram shows the simple logic gate address decoder. Here you can see a NAND gate. Then here you can see A0 to A11 address lines. How this address lines has written? Here you can see 4K into 8. Then what is the meaning of this 4K into 8? It can be expressed as 2 raised to x into y. So, we can split y as 8. That means 8 data lines. 8 data lines can be represented as D0 to D7. 4K can be represented as 2 raised to 2 into 1K. K means 1K means 2 raised to 10. So, 2 raised to 2 into 2 raised to 10. A raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. So, it is equal to 2 raised to 12. 2 raised to 12 can be expressed from A0 to A11 address lines. Then, as you all know, 8051 consists of 60-bit addresses. Then, balance remaining addresses. A12 to A15 can be used to select the chip select. So, chip select can be selected by using higher bit addresses, whereas the lower bit addresses may go directly to the memory chip. Here the lower bit addresses are A0 to A11 and upper bit addresses A12 to A15 can be connected to a NAND gate to the chip select pin. Then here you can see the output of the NAND gate is active low, and this chip select pin is also active low. So, it becomes a perfect match. In case this chip select pin, we have used chip select only instead of this CS bar, we have to use an AND gate. So, by using a combination of NAND gates and inverters, one can decode any address range. So, here you can also see read bar. Read bar is connected to MEMR bar, that means memory read. Then write bar is connected to memory write. This is the working of logic gate address decoder. Then second one, by using SAN4LS1328 decoder. This is the most widely used address decoders. Here you have 3 inputs, A, B and C. These are the input pins. 3 inputs, A, B and C. It generates 8 active low outputs that can be represented as Y0 to Y7. Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, Y6, Y7. These are the 8 active low outputs. Then each Y output is connected to chip select of memory chip. Then you can see G2A, G2B and G1. G2A, G2B and G1. This G2A and G2B are two active low signals and G1 is an active high signal. Then if any one of the inputs G1, G2A or G2B is not connected to an address signal, they must be activated permanently either by VCC or by ground depending on the activation level. Now you can see the truth table of 74LS1328 decoder. Here you can see other pins VCC, ground, remaining all we have discussed. Here you can see Y0 to Y7 outputs, then 3 inputs A, B, C, here it is denoted as A0, A1, A2, then G2A, G2B can be represented as E1 bar, E2 bar, then E3 is active high, that is represented as G1. So here you can see 2 active low signals and 1 active high signal. Then you have 3 inputs ABC. ABC here denoted it as A0, A1, A2. Here it is first 3 conditions are don't care conditions. Then 0, 0, 0. Then 1, 0, 0. Then 0, 1, 0 and so on. Here also first 3 conditions are active high, then a low signal occurred, then this low signal has shifted towards here. So H means high, L means low and X means don't care. Then the third and last one is by using programmable logic as an address decoder. Here we can use PAL and GAL software. PAL means programmable array logic and GAL means generic array logic software. These chips can be programmed for any combination of address ranges. So in this video we have discussed about interfacing of external memory to 8051. Here we have only seen memory organization, memory address decoding and various ways to select memory blocks. In my next video, you can see how an 8051 can be interfaced with the external ROM or RAM devices. Thank you.